So, on this show, we're going to talk about the difficulties on our way to achieving the love that Oren talked about with such longing. We see the path isn't simple, but still, we have to say in advance, what kind of love are we talking about? The relations between us, relations between people. Yes, regardless of sex or any personal relations that we have, it's simply a mutual relation between people. To raise it to the degree called love. Exactly. On all levels, in all the relationships that we have, we're not necessarily focusing on love towards your partner or something. The warm feeling that appears between people, many times we see it's accompanied by pain, vulnerability, fear. And the first question I'd like to ask is, why does love hurt? How is it that love, that something so good, eventually ends with a heartache? Or is almost always accompanied with a heartache? Because our love, meaning the relations between people, this is a relation that we build out of our own nature, and our nature is egoistic. So we truly, according to our nature, only want to receive. And if we feel pleasure as a result of giving, like when we give to our little child, for example, then we give. But that's also not giving, but it's hidden reception. Why? Because I get pleasure from giving. I think, how am I going to give it to him? And this and that, and how much he's going to enjoy it. I get greater pleasure out of it than my child does. And then I as if give, but it's not actually giving, it's receiving. And therefore, we have to differentiate in our relations. Giving and receiving, and the balance between giving and receiving, that this is something that we have to come to, that it can't be that I'll demand more than I give. And if I really love, then I don't even have to demand anything. That only the giving that I give to someone I love, that fills me up. As is. Like with my children. I give to them. I give to my little children. And I feel pleasure as a result of them receiving what I brought them. So that's what fills me up. That really fulfills me completely. So did I give them or did I receive from them? I also gave, but I received a lot. I don't think that I gave anything. I think I only received. That if I would not enjoy them, I wouldn't give them. Right, because we see people that I don't feel like giving them anything. Right. So in life, we only want to receive and not to give anything. And if we want to build the right kind of relations, then we have to learn how to give. And to give, it means that I give above my desire to receive. Meaning that it's not important if that person is close to me or not, because if he's close to me, it's like with my children. I enjoy giving, so it's reception and not giving. So I have to learn how do I actually feel that the entire world are like my relatives, like my children. That then our connection will always be a connection of love and giving. Because I can't give, I'm incapable of giving. And this is what I have to come to. And what does this have to do with love? It means that I love them, like my children. Why do I give them? Because I love them. Why do I give them? Because the fact that I love them turns my giving into reception. And with respect to everything you just told us now, what are love pangs? Love pangs, it's when I can't give someone I love what they need. and I suffer as a result. It's like a mother that, God forbid, suffers as a result of not having what to feed her baby child with. And I can say as a mother that I'm really afraid of that place, that I'll stop feeling that I love someone, that I'm afraid that this feeling that I want to give or love might stop or something, because otherwise, without that, you feel no life. Can you talk a bit about that, about the fear? It's a fear of not being able to give someone I love what they need, and also I'm afraid that others might stop loving me. Okay, that's a different kind of fear, but I like to first focus on the first kind of fear that has to do with the pain that we talked about in terms of I want to give, but as long as I have this feeling that I want to give, having whom to give to, just like that embryo lived inside of you, you gave it life when you were pregnant, and when he came out, it doesn't mean that you disconnected from him. You still provide him on the outside more than you were concerned about him on the inside. And the more he grows up, the more concerned about him you are. And there's a problem here that he's becoming a bit more independent and more distant from you. So the question now is, to what extent can you care for him and give him all that he needs? And to what extent is he capable and willing of receiving it from you, and so on. So there's a very complex form of life here, that you're becoming more and more dependent on him. Suppose on a child that's growing up. And because his nature is egoistic, just like your nature is, you want to give him what you think is good for him, and he wants to receive from you what he thinks is good for him. And this is the place of pain. Yeah. This is the collision between two egos. Still, I want to return to the previous question. Why are we so afraid of losing love? Love towards another person. What is this fear? Because it satisfies us, it fulfills us. It's a source of fulfillment, where without this attitude towards me, I don't actually feel that I exist as a human being. Suppose people in the world will stop relating to me. It's not that they'll disregard me or anything, but they'll stop seeing me altogether, as if I don't exist. So that's how I'll feel myself, that I don't exist. By that, they will pass their opinion on to me, because I don't live from what I feel, but from what others feel towards me. So my entire existence depends on there being around me other people with which I have, of course. This is the only way that a person lives. An animal has a different kind of life, because for it it's enough that there's nature. There are such animals that maybe live alone altogether, don't meet other animals, but in order to mate for some time, and the rest of the time they live on their own. Why is the world built this way, that we're needy of other people to define who we are? This is our advantage over the animate level, because a human being is considered a human being to the extent to which he is connected with other people. On his own, he's considered an animal, and he's a human being only to the extent to which he is connected with others and is included in others, because inside himself, he's an animal, and to the extent to which he is included with other people, he has this sophisticated kind of inner image called a human being. So a human being is not only me, it is the images that you have collected inside yourself, an image which you have collected as a result of your encounter with all the other people, and that's called you as a human being. Inside all the other people and their attitude towards me. Suppose there's a specific person I'm in a relationship with, or we don't love each other, but we're in a relationship. How dominant is that person in defining who I am? There are different people around me at work, here, there, the way they treat me. You said, I'm not living from what I feel, but from what others feel towards me. To the extent to which you're included in them, maybe more correctly put. Meaning, the human in you, I think we talked about it on our previous show, the human in you is the extent to which you have absorbed inside yourself the images of other people. And there's also your wife. Okay, right. So, how dominant is love in defining who I am? A lot. Let's put it this way. You're Oren that absorbs the different external forms of people. You don't absorb them on your own, but you, with your wife, that influences your internality, and then you, that are connected to her, absorb these images from the outside. They together comprise one unit, right?